We're here today because over the last week, ever since the WNYC and ProPublica report that outlined the details of the L3 deal in which George and Phil Norcross used their political might to muscle out a nonprofit community development corporation from land on the waterfront, we have collected a set of examples and reasons why the Cooper Hospital leadership and governorship needs to change. This city needs a hospital that cares for its patients and its citizens first, not a place that's governed by people who want to invest in real estate, to control, to be powerful, to make profit, to increase their own political power. This city and this hospital is too important to the city residents for it to be distracted by those types of things.
Over the past 6 decades, I've seen a whole lot. I've seen great moments in Camden, but I've also seen some pretty disgraceful moments. Camden was disgraced when the riots broke out here in 1971, when 2 white officers beat and killed a Hispanic motorist, was in charge, and this whole city, this whole area, lit up on fire. Flames throughout the whole city.
When the great American car company Chrysler was failing and losing, we didn't blame the people. We fired the ineffective CEO and hired Lee Iacocca to turn that company around. When the great American tech company, Apple, was failing, we didn't blame the people. We fired the fake CEO, brought in Steve Jobs, and turned that company around.
This is an issue not just for the people of Camden City, though. Cooper Hospital is a hospital that serves this entire region. And each week, we are finding out more and more about how George and Phil Norcross exploited the vulnerabilities of this city, saying that they were going to build this city up, when in reality, all they did was exploit it.
But even as Cooper has continued to grow and pump lifeblood in Camden, it has become the center of a growing number of scandals. Scandals which threaten the health of not only Camden, but Cooper itself. Cooper has just had to retain a high-powered attorney to represent it in a federal investigation of a corporate tax incentive scheme. It's in the middle of a scandal concerning the L3 building on the waterfront. A special task force is investigating Cooper for fraud on its application forms for the EDA's tax incentives. I could go on. There are, 7, 10, something like that, different scandals that are injuring the health of the city and the hospital.
Because this man, who the other day demonstrated the same hate that Trump has against immigrants, is enslaving the men and women of South Jersey, good men and women who are working in the Democratic Party, or working in Cooper Hospital, working throughout the county. He's enslaved you, he's bewitched you, and we're calling in the name of Jesus that you be free and become whistleblowers and be protected by the FBI so that you can bring out the documentation, the stories. You have them, you know them. You know where the secrets are, and we need those secrets.
All over this nation, I'm witnessing corruption in the urban communities all throughout the nation. And the same goes for Camden. We're on the front lines in Camden trying to make Camden, the city I love, a better Camden. But while we're doing that, we're being opposed by another force. See, there's another force at work that is blocking what we try to do, that opposes what we're trying to do, that tries to defund what we're trying to do.
All of those who are working are elected officials. It is time for you to do what's right by the people and for the people. As elected officials, you are here to serve the people, not an unelected political boss machine. You are the voice for the voiceless, and the hope for the hopeless, and the help for the helpless. After becoming a councilwoman, I was told that I have to do what this political boss machine wants me to do. And that's not what I was elected to do. I was elected to serve the people, and that's what we are here to do, is serve. If you don't do what you're told, you're punished. You're thrown on websites. You're deteriorated, and police humiliation and intimidation, job loss. Well, I've been a victim of all that because I stood up and I spoke out and I didn't do what I was told.
And now Camden is disgraced again. It's become the laughing stock of America with fraudulent actions and corrupt dealings of George Norcross and Phil Norcross. Literally, they are who we thought they were. That was the first thought I had, and the first thought that came to mind when I read the ProPublica article.
A very, very appropriate sign I received where Norcross is the king and the octopus. I'll briefly tell you a story. The first time I heard about George Norcross was when I was at Atlantic City in 1987, 88. And as I was going up the elevator to the Democratic Convention, my mayor back then in Pennsauken leaned over to me and said to me, "Elliot, the only reason I'm here is to kiss the ring of the king."
In recent years, Cooper Hospital has shown examples of conflicts of interest and patronage. They've shown examples of kickbacks. They've shown examples of abusing state subsidies. There's been evidence of fraud, influenced by special interests, evidence of financial abuse, federal investigations, and all of these have happened under the purview of George Norcross as chairman and his brothers as enablers.
To build a stronghold of power and money for themselves and for their friends. This isn't just a threat to the city of Camden and the region and the patients. It's a threat to all of us. It's a threat to people who walk in their doors expecting that their care matters, that they matter as employees, when in reality, the Norcross brothers have shown us time and time again that what matters to them is money and power, and getting their friends and colleagues in same positions of power.
Well, today, the great American city of Camden is failing. We all know who the de facto CEO is. The horrendous murder rate in Camden is a result of his policies. The catastrophic unemployment rate amongst the people is also. The suffering that goes on in my beloved city is unimaginable. Murder, assault, hunger, poverty, pain. Our youth stuck in stupefying boredom. Our adults constantly in maddening want. Are all the results of the greed and blindness that would disgrace a devil.
We should not have to fear political retaliation. We should not have to fear safety of our family members or even of our own lives. We should be able to serve the people and not have to be told that if we don't do what we're told to do, that we are going to be subjected to punishment. So I ask those who are elected, you don't have to be afraid anymore. You don't have to be told what to do, because remember, you're there for one reason: to serve the people of the state of New Jersey.
I'm insulted that the tide is rising, but the boats aren't rising. I'm insulted that you want Camden, but you don't want its residents. I'm insulted that you can come in and sweep house, but you want the residents out the house. You're trying to sweep the residents out the house. I see buildings going up, a reconstruction going on, and most residents in Camden will not step foot in those structures. How can it be for a community when half the community won't even be allowed, I'm gonna say allowed, in the structures that are being built?
This illness would best be cured by a head transplant. George Norcross needs to resign.
He's a con man, and this con man must resign. When Ken Lay from Enron was under investigation, you know what he did? He resigned. When Richard Nixon was under investigation, you know what he did? He resigned. Last year, when Jeff Sessions was under investigation, you know what he did? He resigned. Donald J. Trump is under investigation. Guess what he should do? George Norcross is under investigation by the FBI, the Attorney General, and the task force, and today we declare he must resign. Thank you very much.